Hello, my name is Kailash Bhosle. I am from Sanjeevani College of Engineering, Koppal. In this session, we are going to study about the slope and deflection unit. So, in the first part, derivation of the slope and deflection. So, for this unit, we have referred some textbooks and reference books. So, at the end of the session, the learners will be able to derive the slope and deflection equation. In practically all engineering applications, limitations are placed upon the performance and behavior of the components, and normally they are expected to operate within certain set limits. For example, stress or deflection. The stress limits are normally set so that the component does not yield or fail under the most severe load conditions which it is likely to meet in service. In certain structural or machine linkage designs, however, maximum stress levels may not be the most severe condition for the component in question. In such cases, it is the limitation in the maximum deflection which places the most severe restriction on the operation or design of the component. It is evident, therefore, that methods are required to accurately predict the deflection of members under lateral load, since it is this form of loading which is generally produce the greatest deflection of beams, studs and other structural types of the members. The design of beams is frequently governed by rigidity rather than strength. The computation of deflection is an integral component of the beam analysis. Deflections can also govern the design of machinery, cars and aircraft. In the design of the lathe, for example, the deflections must be kept below the dimensional tolerances of the parts being machined. Cars and aircraft must have sufficient rigidity to control the structural vibrations. Deflection also plays a crucial role in the analysis of statically indeterminate beams. They form the basis for the compatibility equations that are needed to supplement the equations of equilibrium as discussed in our analysis of axially loaded bars or torsion of the shaft. A number of analysis methods are available for determining the deflection of the beam. Their common basis is the differential equation that relates the deflection to the bending moment. The solution of this equation is complicated because the bending moment is usually a discontinuous function, so that the equations must be integrated in a piecewise fashion. The various methods of deflection analysis are essentially different techniques for solving this differential equation. Suppose that we have a beam and then we apply the upward load at the point B, then the beam will get deflected. Consider a beam AB which is initially horizontal when unloaded. If this deflects to a new position A dash to B dash under load, the slope at any point C will be equal to dy by dx. So slope will be given by the dy by dx equation. This is usually very small in practice and for small curvatures. So ds will be equal to dx will be equal to r into di, that is radius of the curvature. So di upon dx will be equal to 1 by r, and d2y upon dx square will be equal to 1 by r. Now from the simple bending theory, that is m upon I will be equal to e by r, m will be equal to ei into d2y upon dx square. This is the basic differential equation for the deflection of beams. Suppose this is the beam. If the beam is now assumed to carry a distributed loading which varies in intensity over the length of the beam, then a small element of the beam of length dx will be subjected to the loading condition as shown in the figure. The parts of the beam on either side of the element EFGH carry the externally applied forces, while reactions to these forces are shown on the element itself. Thus, for vertical equilibrium of EFGH, Q minus W dx will be equal to Q minus TQ. So dq will be equal to w into dx. And integrating, we get q will be equal to integration of w into dx. Also, for equilibrium, moments about any point must be 0. Therefore, taking moments about f, m plus dm plus w into dx by 2 equal to m plus q into dx. Therefore, neglecting the square of small quantities, dm will be equal to q into dx, and integrating, m will be equal to integration of q into dx. The results can then be summarized as follows. Deflection will be given by the y, slope will be equal to dy by dx, bending moment will be equal to ei d2y upon dx square, shear force will be equal to ei d cube y upon dx cube, and load distribution will be equal to ei d4y upon dx raised to 4. The following procedures assume that ei is constant in each segment of the beam. First, sketch the elastic curve of the beam, taking into account the boundary conditions. Use the method of sections to determine the bending moment m at an arbitrary distance x from the origin. Always show m acting in the positive direction on the free body diagram. If the loading has discontinuities, a separate expression for m must be obtained for each segment between the discontinuities. By integrating the expressions for m twice, obtain an expression for ei y in each segment. Do not forget to include the constant of integration. Evaluate the constant of integration from the boundary condition and the continuity conditions on slope and deflection between segments.